You are listening to Huddling with the Herd on KYNT, a weekly recap of Yankton High School athletics. Huddling with the Herd is brought to you in part by Mount Marty University, At the Bar, FNBO, Avera, Parker Hannafin, Olson's Pest Technicians, Farmers Union Insurance, SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance, Vision Care Associates, Explorers Credit Union, Slowy Management, Mason Schramm and the Move Group, MT&RC Smith Insurance, Triple Time Rudy's, Vision Real Estate, First Dakota National Bank, Yankton Medical Clinic, The UPS Store, Hy-Vee, First Chiropractic Centers, Pizza Ranch, and Missouri River Associates. Now broadcasting live from KYNT Studios, it's Huddling with the Herd with KYNT Sports Director Brayden Butler.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. This is Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, and streaming live on KYN-TV. We're getting things rolling right away with a wrap-up of Yankton Gazelles basketball. I know a couple weeks now since that Sodak 16 game, but we're talking to head coach Blake Savvy now live here on Huddling with the Herd. This is presented, of course, by Explorers Credit Union, proudly serving Southeast South Dakota and Northeast Nebraska. Discover the difference with them at explorerscu.com. But Coach Savvy, we were talking about the numbers a little bit. The season wraps up 8-13. The number 13 seed in the Sodak 16. That's a 7-win improvement over last season. And from going back on Bound Online, it's the most wins and the highest Sodak seeding for you guys in a couple years now. So definitely improvement is what we talked about a lot throughout the season. And when you look at those numbers, that really shows.
Yeah, I thought it was a great year, and within those numbers, there was a lot of games in which we took a lot of steps forward in the right direction. And, you go back and kind of reflect on the season, and you look at a Watertown game where we went into halftime down on the scoreboard, but the girls really knew that was a game they wanted to go and win. A year ago, you go into that game down on the scoreboard, the likelihood that we're able to flip that, it just wasn't really there for us a year ago. This year, they came out, they controlled the second half, and they go win that game. You go and look at a Roosevelt, the Pier, the T game, and just the energy in the Summit Center, the competitiveness we played with, and all year long, just moments like that where you really could tell we were finding a new rhythm and a new belief.
And one game that really stood out to me was actually your guys' rescheduled matchup with Huron, going on the road against a tough Huron team. You shut down one of the top scorers in the entire state, just when looking at the numbers, in Hines, and you get a win there, and that propels you guys to win 6 of your last 11 games. So you finish the back half of the season above 500 after only being able to get 2 in the first 9 games. So that really felt like a turning point for your guys' team this year. Yeah, and that's a lot of credit to the girls because what you just said there in the front half and back half of the season, the front half of our schedule was really loaded with a lot of the state's best teams. And so the girls really had to stick with it. They had to believe that they were learning and growing, whether the wins were coming at that point or not. And then as the second half of the season got rolling and we got some momentum, then you can see what was building in the first half. But in the moment, in those first 9 or 10 games, it can be tough to just keep your head down and keep believing that what we're doing is working. And so a big credit to the girls and sticking through it with that schedule because, at the end of the day, I think there's pros and cons to having a front-loaded schedule. If you can keep the right head about it, it can be very good for you to get some momentum at the end of the year. But if you get discouraged and defeated really early, it can be really hard to, even if you're playing now winnable games, it can be really hard to build that confidence back up. I know we talk about growth with the Gazelles quite often, and you bring in a lot of pieces back next year, but unfortunately you lose 4 seniors, Kelson Wells, Nora and Sabrina Kraske, and Addie Muth all graduating. I know we talked a bit about them at the Sodak game a few weeks ago, but for people who may not have heard our post-game interview or just want a refresher, talk about those 4 seniors and what they've meant to you to help transition you into the coaching role. Yeah, they are 4 seniors that have led every single day.
regardless of personal circumstance. And that's a really tough thing to do, especially when you're talking about 17 and 18-year-olds who have a lot of life to experience still. And, on the court and off the court, you can look at what they brought to our team as far as building a foundation, leading their teammates well, and every single day coming, bringing energy. Addie Muth was our Energizer Bunny this year and voted on by her captains, and she brought that energy every single day with nothing asked for or expected in return. And whether she was tired, frustrated, anything in between, she brought the same amount of positive energy every single day to her teammates. The Kraske sisters, we talk about them a lot, and just the way that they walk the hallways and the classmates that they are to people, the teammates they are to our program, the role models they are for our youth, and then just the people that they are on the court as well. Yankton as a whole and the Gazelles program across all sports are going to miss the Kraskes a lot, and they're going to owe a big debt to them for everything that they've done in a multitude of sports, because they just know how to win, and they do that because they know how to work and they know how to compete. And then Kelson Wells, she came as a sophomore, and she fit in and grew with this group right away, and earned a lot of respect from her teammates right away going into her junior year. And she played a lot of minutes in a Gazelles uniform, and she just keeps a level head, which is going to be good for her because she wants to go on and be an anesthesiologist, and that's going to be a tough task, but it's one that is perfect for her with just the way that she approaches every situation. She just sees things very clearly with a level head. Addie Muth is going to go on and be a teacher and a coach, and that is going to be a phenomenal role for her with the way that she knows how to encourage people. Sabrina Kraske is going to go be an occupational therapist, and I think that, again, working with people, encouraging people, and just helping them get back to tackling daily life, that's such a great role for her. And Nora Kraske wants to go on and be a lawyer, and so look out if you are, in the courtroom with her in the future, because, again, she's competitive and she knows how to work and she knows how to win. So if you find yourself across from her in a courtroom, I'm going to take Nora.
Hopefully I never find myself in a courtroom, but if I do and she's across from me, I know I'm getting put away. Even if I didn't do it, I'm getting put away. But I digress. I like talking about like what their plans are for the future, because a lot of what we see of these girls is just what we see on the court. I know you get that peek behind the curtain, the day-to-day with them, practice, team trips, everything like that. So it's nice to hear about them and what they have going for them going forward. Addie Muth going into teaching and coaching, I wonder where she got that idea, but you got some great mentors ahead of you in the Muth family for great coaches and teachers, so not surprised there. And Kelson and Sabrina as well, I hope all of them do great in their next step of life. It's been a lot of fun to cover the Gazelles this season, my first full year covering the Gazelles, and they made it a lot of fun. I guess more is big picture, what are some things or maybe a moment that you're most proud of from your team this year, whether it's involving one of those seniors or just anybody?
I really go to the T game just because if you look at what we had to do to win that game, and we largely controlled it most of the way, but the crowd was there and they were bringing energy on both sides. T brought a big crowd, the Yankton crowd showed up, and we saw seniors in Nora Kraske, Kelson Wells making big plays in that game. We saw younger players, Jordan Kudera and September Rao, hitting big shots in that game. We saw our kind of mainstay of leadership in Jocelyn Elwood and Eden Wolfgram making big critical plays, big shots in that game. And defensively, offensively, they just played such a hard-nosed game to go and get that one. And that's a team that just went out to the state tournament this last weekend. And so it's a big one for our program and for these girls that are coming back and these younger girls that are watching. I think I look back at some of James Simburik's pictures that he always puts in the paper, and he's really good at capturing moments from the bench. And one of my favorite things is actually looking at the very end at our young ball girls just you can see the joy on their faces, the excitement as they're cheering for these moments. And I think that's what this group is really building right now, is this excitement, this belief, and this desire in our younger girls to want to go be basketball players, and more specifically Gazelles basketball players. And so those games like against T, they're huge for that momentum, and just for those girls to start to see, like, hey, that's one of the top 8 teams in the state of South Dakota that they're going to go play in a state tournament, and the Gazelles were able to go beat them. So that was just, it was huge for our own belief within this team, but it's a really big win for the program.
And I feel like I've had this exact conversation the last couple of weeks. I talked to Edley Amaro after his state championship for wrestling a few weeks ago. I talked to Winry Yagi last week about her runner-up finish. There are kids in Yankton who want to be Edley Amaro. They now want to be Winry Yagi. They now want to be Eden, September, Nora, Sabrina, everybody on the team. They want to be that next Gazelles basketball player. And I like what you said about belief a lot, because I feel like that's way more important than people might give it credit for.
Yeah. Every year at our banquet, I kind of try and have, what was this year about a little bit. And last year, I thought it was perspective. You're 1-19, but what did we learn and grow from in those moments? Like, what perspective can we take to move forward? This year, I did think it was all about belief. And it started with when we were doing a little photo shoot with the black jerseys for the first time with the seniors. And I asked our seniors, I was like, do you think we're ever going to wear the reds? And they were all like, no. Except Nora Krasky, she kind of piped in. She was like, well, yeah, we will. The state tournament's 3 days long. And whether we end up making it there at the end or not, right, the fact that before a game had even tipped off, that's the mindset that Nora Krasky and these girls bring that has been different from what we've had in years past. There was a belief from the beginning that, hey, we can go do this. And that's why we were able to stay the course. In the Sodak 16 game, we did a little visualization in the hotel before we left, where we just talked through key parts of the game, defense, offense, making plays, trying to just visualize ourselves. And we just they had their heads down, and we just kind of walked through the game. And when they brought their heads back up, you could see in their eyes, like, yeah, we want to go win this game. It wasn't like, well, we're going to give it our best shot. And there was a genuine belief. And again, if outcomes are there or not there, the belief being there is a huge starting block for us to build on for the following years.
And looking to build into the future, I know got quite a bit of time before the next time the Gazelles basketball team takes the floor later this year. I believe December is when we'll tip off usually. But what kind of goes into off-season prep for you as a coach heading into next season?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited. Last summer we started a Yankton area summer league where a lot of just area towns, the Crofton Warriors, Gayville Vollen, Irene Wakanda, Wagner, just a bunch of area schools that came and played each Wednesday, and offered us, a lot of those teams that I just listed have played in a lot of state tournaments and have very good teams in their own classes. Like Crofton, for example, I think just made their 9th in a row, somewhere in there. And they're teams that we don't play, that we don't have to worry about, something, a random night in July where maybe everybody's not there and we don't play the way we want to. Well, we don't have to worry about these teams coming back to our schedule later on. So I think it just gives the girls a little mental break to just play some different teams. And there's a lot of good small town or smaller class teams in our area. So that'll be one. I'm excited that that's back again this summer. We've already had 8 teams say that they're back in. And then open gyms and a lot of skill work. So kind of that mix of a couple days where the girls just get to go play, whether that is 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. And then at least one day a week where it is just small group intensive skill work and trying to really develop those.
I like to bring up the summer league, these teams from the area. You mentioned Crofton. They're more likely to make the state tournament than not in Nebraska over the last, however, you said 9 straight, I know, but even before that, they're basically a dynasty making the tournament. Gabe O'Vallen's been competing for state tournament spots the last couple of years, and Wagner just has the best player in the state, Gatorade Player of the Year, and Ashley Copel, who's going to Nebraska. So like you're playing tough competition. That really, even though you're not AA opponents, it's AA level basketball.
Yeah, and so it's big for us, and it's just big for us to every Wednesday night go and play 2 games. I think that really showed this season is just the more we can play together as a team, the more that chemistry builds, and you're thinking less and just acting more.
All right, well, thank you for coming into this morning, Coach. I appreciate you taking time to talk. Coming up next, we're going to talk about track and field, and Jeff Gross actually mentions you in the interview. You're working with some distance runners, I believe. So how's that going for you?
It's good. It's a good group. They're a very talented group, and so it's an exciting year to kind of move into that role and get rocking with them. We're kind of at the point now where we start to hit some more workouts, and so it'll be fun. But it's a really good group. Last thing I'm gonna say about Gazelles basketball, and it's just, I think it really shows a narrative between these girls. So, and it's some numbers just to give us a tangible. But a year ago, so there's a plus minus stat. Pretty much everything you do good in the game of basketball is a plus. And everything you do bad in the game of basketball that you could think of as a minus. A year ago, our plus minus was minus 24.4. And this year, at the end of the year, with one extra game, it's actually minus 5.7. And so almost a 20-point increase of positive things in 1 year's time. And so I just think our girls deserve a lot of credit because that is a lot of hard work in practice and then a lot of hard work in games to see that big of an increase in just 1 year's time.
It's sad to see the seniors go, but Gazelles basketball continuing to grow, Coach. I can't wait for our conversations next year. Another year, Gazelles basketball should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we're competing for a state tournament spot next year like I know you guys wanted to this year.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me in. Thanks for your coverage all year. Just the amount of coverage that our girls get and our athletes get in general at Yankton is unheard of, and you guys have a huge role, so we appreciate you a lot.
Well, we appreciate that here, and thank you again for taking some time this morning, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's head coach Blake Savvy at Yankton Gazelles basketball here on KYNT and KYN TV. We're back in a couple minutes. We're going to talk track and field here on Huddling with the Herd.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
What if your next big adventure isn't somewhere out there, but already waiting for you at home? That kitchen remodel, a new addition, or that dream family getaway? Your home's equity can fuel it all. With a fixed-rate home equity loan from Explorers Credit Union, turn what you've built into where you're going next. Explorers Credit Union, we believe in helping you launch your next big adventure. Call 800-491-4309 and speak with a loan officer today. Explorers Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
At Mount Marty University, students get real support and real opportunities.
Hi, I'm Maya, and I'm a business major at Mount Marty University. The professors here at Mount Marty are just amazing. They're very good about supporting me through future internships and jobs that they try and line me up with, and they also provide real life experiences in the classroom through projects and speakers and things like that.
Start your journey online at mountmarty.edu.
It's the best part of basketball season, and At the Bar is your headquarters for every game, every matchup, every last-second shot. Wall-to-wall coverage of upsets, buzzer beaters, bracket busters. If it's on the court, it's on the screens at the bar, and you won't miss a minute. The energy's loud, the beverages are cold, and every big shot feels even bigger when you're watching it together. You can watch the game anywhere, but the real fans gather at the bar in downtown Yankton.
FNBO is the great big small bank, and for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com. Member FDIC.
It's time to stop making excuses. The peace of mind you get after a colonoscopy is worth it. It's the best way to prevent and detect one of the deadliest cancers. In fact, your doctor can remove precancerous polyps during the procedure if necessary. That's right, before it even turns to cancer. No excuses. Get a colonoscopy at 45 and follow up every 10 years or as recommended by your doctor. Find a location or schedule now at avera.org/colon.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you start a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan. Your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine, because all these benefits begin day one. We are hiring assemblers, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day one benefits, apply today at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
Do you have a pest problem? Bed bugs, bats in the attic, termite damage, earwigs? Olson's Pest Technicians can tackle any of your pest problems. Family owned and operated with over 80 years of pest experience in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Proven pest methods include Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatments for bed bugs. Even the toughest pest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson's Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Welcome back in here on Huddling with the Herd. New bump music as we're switching to the spring season. More of a baseball organ flavor there for you on the way back in. Expect to hear that more as baseball season officially starting on Monday for Yankton High School. We'll talk about that in our next segment, as right now we're going to talk about track and field, as the Yankton track and field program has already started their season. Earlier this week, Yankton athletes took home 4 event victories and set 2 facility records for high school competition at the Ruth Donahoe First Dakota Fieldhouse back on Tuesday. That was at the Mount Marty High School Invitational. Both victories for the Gazelles belonged to Quinn Brinkman. She cleared 5.5 in the high jump, setting a new facility record there, and cleared 17.2 1/4 in the long jump. Also competing for the Gazelles and finishing highly, Rosalind Adamson, runner-up finishes in both the 60 in 7.88 seconds and the 200 and 0.42 seconds. Delaney Yeomans earned 2 individual top 8 finishes. She placed 5th in the 800 in 2 minutes, 37.36 seconds, and 6th in the 1600 in 5 minutes, 47.08 seconds. I thought I had it written down, but I must have forgot to bring it over. Cale Hazelhorst is the one who set another facility record. He set it for the Bucks in the hurdles. Let me bring up the sports report from earlier this week here on KYNT so I could talk to you about that. Cale Hazelhorst leading the Bucks, new high school facility record in the 60-meter hurdles. He won that event in 8.33 seconds. Owen Eisnes would take the top spot in the boys 400, rounding out the 4 event victories for Yankton with a time of 53.69 seconds. Also finishing highly for the Bucks, Luke Feimer, 2nd in the boys 1600 and 3rd in the 1800. William Rounds was 3rd in the boys pole vault. I already talked about Rosalind Adamson taking 2nd in both the girls 60 and 200, and Ava Henricks took 3rd in the girls long jump. So 2 of the top 3 spots in the girls long jump belonging to the Gazelles. Brinkman taking 1st, Henricks taking 3rd. Bucks and Gazelles back in action on March 27th. That is once again a meet held at the Ruth Donahoe First Dakota Fieldhouse. The Mount Marty Class A Invitational scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. on the 27th. For those of you keeping track at home, that I believe is next Friday, the 27th. I have a calendar right in front of me. It is next Friday, the 27th. But we do have an interview earlier this week. I got a chance to talk to head coach Jeff Gross of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles track program. Quite a conversation with him, just talking about his team. There's a lot of athletes to go over. And also a bit of a season preview. I didn't get a chance to get him before the opening meet, so it'll be a longer interview today as we talk a little bit about the coaching staff as well for the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles. But this was recorded on Wednesday, so when you hear us refer to last night's meet, this is talking about Tuesday's meet for Yankton. Let's go to the interview now here on KYNT and KYN-TV. Brayden Butler here on KYNT. Joining me over the Pizza Ranch phone line is head coach Jeff Gross of the Yankton Track and Field program. Coming off of yesterday as we're recording this, so when we refer to yesterday, we're going to mean Tuesday earlier this week. Yankton Track and Field, their first competition of the season. 4 event victories, a couple of facility records for the high school level at the Ruth Donahoe First Dakota Fieldhouse. Coach, how are you feeling after pretty impressive performance for your teams yesterday up or here in Yankton at the Fieldhouse on Mount Marty?
Oh, it was fantastic. Kids, performed well, did a great job. We'll talk about more specific as we get going on that. But yesterday, Tuesday, like you said, as we're recording this, it's Wednesday afternoon. It's, I think, 60 degrees outside. I haven't stepped outside yet. But yesterday, as the meet was starting, we were in the middle of a little bit of a snowstorm, and, it was slushy and icy outside. It was about 12 degrees. It was a perfect day for an indoor track meet, I'll say that. So, and the kids took advantage of that. Our kids did a great job. It was fun seeing other kids from other communities doing a great job. We might touch on some of that here in the next few minutes, but very satisfied with where we were at with the kids. We had limited event entries, so we couldn't get everybody into the field, but we got to see kids that we wanted to see and were excited to see, and it was a good start to the year, that's for sure.
In total, 4 event victories for your Yankton team, multiple other individual athletes finishing top 3 in their events. Then I believe there was 1 or 2 relays that also finished in the top 3. So just talking about your 2 leaders, the topics of discussion as of this morning were a couple of facility records set at the Ruth Donahoe First Dakota Fieldhouse for high school competition. Starting on the Gazelle side, Quinn Brinkman set a new record in the high jump, clearing 5.5. And then she also took first place in the long jump at 17.2 1/4. So great performances there for Quinn in the opening meet of her season.
Yep. Hopefully I can talk over the announcements that are going on here. I apologize for that. But Quinn had a great start to the year. She's done a lot of stuff over the winter with, going to some events both here in South Dakota, specifically at Mount Marty. She also went down as well as Rosalind Adamson down to Lincoln, Nebraska, and competed down there in the Devaney Center earlier this year. And both of them, and specifically with Quinn, have kind of stepped right into the regular indoor season here with the team. And Quinn has just continued to flourish and build on what she did at the end of last year. Just kind of started to explode last May. Got over, 5.1, 5.2 consistently, and then eventually got, I think she ended up getting 4th at the state meet, but she got over 5.3 and has continued to just, her strength is just so much more apparent this year in both the high jump and the long jump. To go over 17 feet in the long jump, that's kind of one of those benchmarks where it just kind of sets you apart and shows your athleticism. And Quinn's not always going to want to hear this, but hopefully we can get her on the track this year a little bit too, because due to some injuries and just some holes that we have in some relays, that could be very beneficial for us going into the conference meet and the state meet. And Quinn's, I think, starting to consider jumping in college and being a college athlete. And she's more versatile sometimes, I think, than she gives herself credit for. And she's just kind of discovering those talents that she has. So that was exciting for her to, set that facility record. And the other individual who set a facility record yesterday was Cale Hazelhorst in the 60-meter hurdles. And he looked really, really good for the first time going over 5 hurdles for the season. And the time of 8.33, it's kind of scary. You start doing a conversion of that and looking at what that is in the 110-meter hurdles. If you break down a hurdle race, your first 5 hurdles are your slowest hurdles, because by the time you get past the 5th hurdle, you're kind of just starting to hit your stride and continuing your momentum down the track. And one possible conversion of an 8.33 into the 110 hurdles is to add 6 seconds to that. And if you do that, that all of a sudden becomes a 14.33, and that would be one of the top 10 times in state history. So Cale kind of changed my expectations and dreams for him for this season yesterday, because he hasn't even begun to, not even peak yet, of course, because we're just starting the season. So it's exciting to see what he's going to pull off this year. And then in tandem with that, we've got another hurdler in the boys' stable who we just got done with the basketball season with Miles Drotzman, and they will push each other all season. So I'm excited for both of those guys looking at yesterday's results.
Keeping it going with yesterday's results, I know obviously the facility records were major talking points on social media and stuff after yesterday, but Owen Eidsness also taking home a top spot in the boys 400, ran a time of 53.69 seconds, and a couple other guys and girls that finished highly. Luke Feimer, I feel like I say that name wrong every time, so if I did, my apologies.
Feimer, yep.
Feimer, there we go. Luke Feimer was second in the boys 1600 and third in the 800. William Rounds took third in the boys pole vault. Rosalind Adamson second in the girls 60 and 200, and then Ava Henriks third in the girls long jump. So you had a lot of different athletes scoring top 3 finishes yesterday.
Just to highlight all those kids, fantastic jobs. The ones that kind of stuck out to me the most, Owen Eidsness, if you've followed Bucks athletics this year, you got to see him really raise his level and become one of the best football players in Class 11 AA. And beyond that, Owen's just a very savvy, tough individual, competitive-wise. And, sorry, the bell's ringing here again, so if we get some more announcements, I apologize. But Owen, gutsy runner, too. And to see I don't know if he loves track so much or if he just loves to compete. And that's what's been exciting to follow with Owen there. Luke Feimer, you mentioned his name. Luke ran a 2:05 in the 800 yesterday, ran a nice time in the 1600. Just exciting to see where he's going to go this year, because that's a great, his quarter time has really come down, and that is kind of the basis of all of South Dakota track and field is my philosophy, is being able to get that quarter time down and kind of base your other times off of that. And a lot of our distance kids are doing that right now, too. Some other names there, Luke Jacobson, Brayden Olson, and there's a whole stable of both girls and boys middle distance runners that Coach Savvy is working with right now. And that's a kind of a sweet spot of our lineup that I'm just really excited to see develop throughout the course of the year. And then the other individual that stuck out to me yesterday, is probably because she was the last one to step off the track in the last girls event yesterday, and you mentioned her, is also getting third place in the long jump. It was Ava Henriks, and she went out, anchored our 4x4 relay yesterday, ran a 63 split, ran her first 200. It was in about a 31, and then she came back with a 32 after that. Just a tough young lady who, again, is one of those that I'm excited to see develop in her different avenues. She's both a jumper on the runway for us, doing a nice job there, got over 16 feet yesterday, and is also developing as a very nice athlete on the track as well.
And looking at, you mentioned, I believe you said Coach Savvy works with your middle distance runners. I didn't get a chance or time last week to kind of speak to you about a preview of the season. I'll put my hand up and admit I didn't realize how early track was starting. I thought you were starting at the end of the month, not the middle. But you mentioned Coach Savvy working with middle distance runners. Who's on your coaching staff this year for your high school team?
Ooh, you're really quizzing me off the cuff here, but we've got Coach Brady Muth and Coach Clara Schild do our throws as far as the discus and the shot put. They put in a lot of work with the kids. Our shot putters did a really nice job yesterday. I think every kid that threw for us yesterday, both boys and girls, had a personal record. Kind of one of note there, I think he ended up getting third place, was Andrew Budick, threw 48 feet, so he PR'd by 2 feet yesterday, and Andrew has just put on some really positive size this off season, so it's going to be exciting to see him continue to develop. and we've got a couple other throwers there too, Jake Walter, Carson Heck, Drace Gadskins, that also are going to be fun to watch in the shot put ring this year. And on the girls' side, we've got Ashton Adams, who's put in a lot of work. She PR'd by about 2 feet yesterday. We had a camp that our facility was able to host here the last couple of summers. Just with our facility, it's kind of a sought-after place. The Circle of Champions camp, we'll host that again here this summer, and our kids have become pretty involved in that group of kind of throwers clique around the region here. So it's excited to see them develop that. And then also coaching-wise, we've got Nathan Engels, who coaches our javelin, and another new coach to us this year is Emma Jaworski. Actually, her dad is the head coach at Sioux Falls Lincoln, and she's taken over our pole vaulters here this year and is doing a really good job there learning that event. She was not a pole vaulter herself, but she's been very humble and inquisitive and developing a good relationship with our kids, and we've got some great kids there. Great kids make you a great coach. So she's getting to work with a really good returning pole vault duo there with William Rounds, who got third last year at the state meet. He's kind of picking up right where he left off last year. Yesterday he vaulted 12.6, and then also Carson Krull qualified for the state meet last year. He vaulted 11.6 yesterday, which is exactly what he vaulted at the end of last year. But then she's also got she being Coach Emma, has also got some young girls that she can help bring along, and so she's kind of got two opposite ends of the spectrum there, both kids she can learn from and fine-tune, but then also learn from what she's doing with those guys and help some of our younger kids. Other coaches with us, you said Blake Savvy's picking up where Kate Savvy, his cousin, left off with our distance and middle distance runners. We've got Heidi Savvy, who coaches our sprints. We've got Justin Olson, who takes care of our horizontal jumps, long jump and triple jump. And then Justin is just kind of a track fanatic like myself, and he has expertise in other areas too, and very dependent on for a lot of things there. And then I think I'm rounding out our staff with Tony Bestie. I don't think I missed anybody as I go through my Rolodex in the brain here, but Tony is with us this year for the first year, and again, hasn't coached track before, but doing a good job with the high jump, and he's also in a situation there where he's got a couple of really good jumpers that he gets to work with and learn from, and good athletes make good coaches sometimes, and that's what we try to emulate as a staff, is try to give the kids an environment that they can excel in, and that's what we do. So that's the staff.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for taking some time to talk today for Huddling with the Herd, and a great start to your season on Tuesday at the home invitational at Mount Marty. And you guys are right back at the Ruth Donahoe Field House, I believe March 27th, if I'm correct, for your next meet, right?
Yep, next Friday, and I haven't looked at the weather yet, but it's either going to be a great day for an indoor track meet or a great day for a track meet in general. So we're looking forward to that and getting some more kids involved.
And the way it's been going this week, it could be one the day before and one the day after, and then completely different the day of. And I love the Midwest weather sometimes, but it's been a little ridiculous this week, I will admit.
Yeah, it's been a weird one.
But thank you again for taking time to talk, Coach. Congratulations on good performances in your season opener, and good luck throughout the remainder of your season.
Yep, thank you.
And in true Midwest weather fashion, it was low mid-80s yesterday after snowing sideways on Monday. It's back into the 50s tomorrow. I love March in South Dakota. We're going to go back to break here on KYNT and KYNTV. Big thank you once again to head coach Jeff Gross of the Yankton Track and Field program. Talking about his team's opening meet on Tuesday. And congrats to the Bucks and Gazelles who competed in that event. A lot of great finishes for Yankton Track and Field. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we are going to preview Yankton Bucks baseball. They get started on Monday against Beersford. I have an interview with head coach Drew Lawrence for that. And then also we'll talk about the opening days for the rest of the spring sports. I know track already started, but Gazelles softball, Gazelles golf, and Bucks tennis also starting in the near future. We'll talk about baseball and the rest of spring sports when we come back here on Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYN-TV.
Tip-off is here and the season's heating up. Whether it's your home, farm, or everyday life, Farmers Union Insurance help you defend against the unexpected and score big on protection. Brendan Hansen and Brandon Tykero at Suite 101B, Morgan Square in Yankton help you rebound from surprises, make every play count, and keep your game strong all season long. Don't let life slam dunk you. Stop by today and stay covered with Farmers Union Insurance.
If you've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury,
check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet.
From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Located on Summit Street across from the high school.
When you make the right decision, it feels good. Like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision too. That's why State Farm agent Rhonda Westland is right here in Yankton to help you select the right protection at the right price. Rhonda will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call her. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Do you struggle with dry contacts? At Vision Care Associates, we have a great option. Infused contact lenses by Bosch & Lomb. Infused lenses are designed to ensure that your eyes stay hydrated and irritation-free, even after a full day of wear. Our doctors specialize in fitting these lenses for maximum comfort and optimal vision. Schedule your consultation and experience the all-day comfort and crisp, clear vision you deserve.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
What if your next big adventure isn't out there on the road? What if it's already waiting right at home? That kitchen you've been dreaming of, extra room to grow, or the family trip you've pictured long ago. Your home's equity can fuel it all. When your plans become a must, Explorers Credit Union. Built steady, built for us.
Insured by NCUA. Call 800-491-4309 and put your equity to work for you today.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure in 2026? Then book your stay at Yankton's two finest hotels, the Fairfield by Marriott and the Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer a complimentary hot breakfast and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and flexible reservation changes, call either hotel direct, the Fairfield by Marriott and the Holiday Inn Express. Two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
There's a difference when a convenience store is locally owned, and you feel it the moment you stop at Triple Time Rudy's. You'll get great quality fuel to keep you on the move, plus local and regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner Lockers. It's the kind of place that's convenient and connected to your community. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling your community.
Hi, I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate. If you're thinking of selling your home, let's start with a full market analysis so you can understand our local market trends and know what to expect. Let me handle the details so you can focus on your next adventure. When it's time to move, Pack those vision boxes and hook up to our courtesy trailer. Call me, Deb Speck, at 605-664-5555.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYN-TV for Huddling with the Herd. Let's start things off talking about Yankton Bucks baseball. Impressive season for them last year. They made the state tournament in the high school season. They had the state player of the year at the high school level with Sam Goki. He's coming back this year, so that is obviously a huge return for the Yankton Bucks. Taking a look at their record from last season, they did finish the year 23-6 in the high school season. And like I said, Sam Goki, the returning high school player of the year. We'll see if he can repeat that honor this year. But I know Yankton, their senior class, they have high expectations for themselves. I read an article just this morning about those expectations. Adam Meyer, I believe, one of the new sports writer at the Yankton Press and Dakota. Great story from him talking about the senior class and their expectations and just giving a good preview of Yankton Bucks baseball. But I had a chance to speak to head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks about his baseball program, how the preseason practices have been going, and how they're ready for Monday's season opener against Beersford. So let's go to the interview now here on Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYN-TV. Brayden Butler here on KYNT. Joining me over the phone right now is the head coach of the Yankton Bucks baseball team, Drew Lawrence. Excited to start another season, Coach Lawrence, on Monday against Beersford in your season opener out at Riverside Field. We'll be there to cover that one, but I just want to start things off with how are you doing today and how are you feeling heading into another year of Bucks baseball?
Today's good. The snow's melting. We'll be able to practice outside. It's fun with baseball. Kids love practice with baseball. They love to play games and practice, and so they're itching to get out, and so we're excited for it.
I know my apartment is right down there on the river, so I can see when you guys are out there practicing for baseball. It's been getting me ready to go into the baseball mindset between you guys and Mount Marty getting out there. But first game on Monday, how have those practices so far looked for your team as you're getting ready for the season?
We've been fairly fortunate with the weather to be able to practice outside. We've been outside since probably beginning of February. So with that and with our winter stuff that we have going on with our players, these guys are ready to play. If we needed to, we could probably start right now with extending innings. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but they're wanting to play. I think they've practiced enough. Practices have been going good, but I think they've seen enough practice and enough hitting against each other to where they're ready for some actual competition.
I know last year you graduated a couple key seniors, but you bring a lot of guys back as well from a very successful baseball season if you group in the Legion year, obviously, as well. But who are some guys that you're expecting to really take center stage and lead the squad this year?
Yeah, like you said, obviously we had a pretty good run there last spring and last summer with a good group of seniors and juniors together. It's always hard to replicate that or try and do that again, but, I think this group is up for it. We return, I think, 5 starters on offense, with, Samuel Goki being player of the year and being able to come back is obviously huge. Quite an honor for him to be able to win that award, but he earned it. So Samuel will be able to play position and pitch. And then other positions, obviously, are the big ones, like Beck Reichen playing shortstop for us and pitching, Tate Bestie in center, pitching as well. Ethan Fieser at first base is returning. And honestly, probably our most important piece coming back for his third year is Gavin Johnson as our catcher. I would put Gavin as the best catcher in the state, in my opinion. I know I'm not impartial when it comes to that, but as far as his ability to control games behind the plate and his hitting ability, he's big for us. So having those guys all back and then adding Boston Frick in to pitch for us too, we return a bunch of good guys that, we should have a successful season.
You brought up Gavin Johnson there and how crucial he is behind the plate, and I know you're not the only coach that sees that. I know he signed on earlier this year for to go to Mount Marty, play baseball with Coach Tycro up there, so that probably helps the pipeline watching him play in the backyard a little bit, basically, for the Lancers. But season opener on Monday for your guys, Coach. What are you expecting against Beersford?
Well, the good thing with doing games like this against Beersford, against a different class opponent, is that we're both pretty much treating this like a warm-up. So it doesn't have any PowerPoint implications for either of us. But, I mean, obviously we're both trying to win the game. We're trying to be successful. But for us, we just want to get some guys some innings. So we'll spread out innings. It's a 7-inning game. We'll probably have 7 pitchers, maybe less. But just trying to get some innings and get ready for, the season, Class A season that starts following Saturday. So just reps and trying to get them ready.
And then one final question here for you, Coach. Coaching staff, I know Coach Creer's been with you the last for a while now, but who is all part of your coaching staff if Creer's back, and who else?
We'll have Coach Creer with us. Coach Davis is back. He has helped us out before. In previous years as an assistant. Peyton Mueller will always help out, being a board member and helping me coach and do the organizational stuff. And then lower level coaches, we got Mitch Gullickson, Cullen Zarbach, and Evan Steiner. So we have a really good coaching staff. Obviously, I think that, but they do a really good job, and we have a lot of guys that have a lot of experience. So those guys are the ones helping us out this year.
Well, Coach, thanks for taking time to talk today. Excited for a Yankton Bucks high school season starting on Monday, and then obviously baseball doesn't stop at the end of the high school season, so we'll be talking a while about Yankton baseball, and I'm glad it's back down here in the southeast corner of the state.
Yeah, it always means the weather's turning the way we want it to, so everyone should usually be happy when baseball's starting.
That was head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks baseball program here on KYNT and KYN-TV for Huddling with the Herd. Of course, baseball opens their season on Monday, 23rd of March against Beersford. That is this coming Monday. I will be on the call for that one along with Josh Bolter this year. 5 p.m. pregame, 5:30 p.m. first pitch, just a single game between the Bucks and Beersford. Other Yankton spring activities, we already mentioned track. They started their season at the Indoor Invite at Mount Marty on March 17th. They're back at Mount Marty on the 27th for their next meet. Bucks Tennis also starts their season on the 27th. They're at Sioux Park in Rapid City for their event. And then Gazelles softball right at the end of March on the road at Brookings, March 31st. The latest start for any spring sport is Gazelles golf. Makes sense. Got to make sure these courses are clear and playable. And that is on April 16th at Spring Creek Country Club in Harrisburg. Good luck to all the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles athletics in the spring season. We'll be talking for those through the end of May, basically, when we wrap up the show for the summer. Usually once the high school year ends for high school athletics is when Huddling with the Herd ends as well, and then comes back in August. But that's still a ways away. No need to look that far down the pipe just yet. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. My apologies. But we are going to go to break, come back in a couple minutes, and we'll have YHS Nation. They're talking about the color guard today. Scotty Borman got a chance to talk with the color guard, not only color guard coach, supervisor, but also some of the color guard members as well. So that'll be coming up in a couple minutes here on KYNT, KYN-TV. This is Huddling with the Herd.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Small test, big protection. The general surgeons at Yankton Medical Clinic performed more than 1,900 colonoscopies last year, 1,900 steps towards a healthier community. Screening is simple, safe, and one of the most effective ways to prevent colon cancer. Most patients sleep comfortably through the entire procedure, which usually takes less than 30 minutes. Don't wait until symptoms appear. Call for an appointment today. Plus, the general surgeons are on call and see patients after hours and weekends. Learn more at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. So much care, so close to
to home.
Getting your business noticed starts with the right print. The other day, a customer came into the UPS store Yankton to pick up blueprints we printed for him. While we finished his order, he mentioned needing business cards. At the UPS store, we handle all your printing needs. Stop in and ask about our current print specials. And that customer? We had his new business cards ready the very next business day. Come explore our small business solutions at the UPS store in Yankton.
Save time and shop online at Hy-Vee. Enjoy the same low prices and great deals online as in store. It's fast and easy. Just shop groceries from our app or online. Choose a pickup or delivery time that fits your schedule. And done. Plus, you can create and save grocery lists, browse weekly deals and coupons, and earn fuel savers. Whatever you need, wherever you are, just one click away. Save time and shop online today at Hy-Vee. Some restrictions apply.
Feeling drained isn't always about sleep or motivation. This is Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. When your body is stiff, tense, or moving poorly, everyday tasks can take more effort than they should. When spinal joints aren't moving well, other areas often compensate. Regular chiropractic care helps improve mobility and reduce tension patterns that keep your body on high alert. Start feeling better with a call to First Chiropractic Centers with offices in Yankton, Hardington, Tyndall, and Wagner, inspiring and empowering others to healthier living.
Practice, meetings, errands, homework, life doesn't slow down. That's why Yankton Pizza Ranch makes dinner easy. Our buffet is hot, fresh, and ready when you are. Pizza, desserts, and the country's best chicken. When your schedule's packed but you still want something delicious, make it a buffet day at Yankton Pizza Ranch, serving daily from 11 to 8.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch.
Whoa, that's good. Ever have one of those days? Your car breaks down, your dog decides your couch is a chew toy, and oh yeah, a tree falls on your roof. Don't worry, Missouri River Associates has you covered. Auto, home, pet mishaps, we're here for all of life's little oops moments. Call 665-6885 for your free quote. Because life happens, and we're ready for it.
At Vision Care Associates, we're always improving our technology for the health of your eyes. With OptoMap dilation-free exams, you get a comprehensive view of your retina without the need for dilation eye drops. It's quick, easy, and best of all, it keeps your day interruption-free. OptoMap captures a detailed image of your eye, helping to detect any problems. No blurriness, no discomfort, just clear, precise results. Book your OptoMap exam now.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYN-TV. This is Huddling with the Herd. It's time for YHS Nation. Scotty Borman got a chance to talk about the Color Guard program out at the Yankton High School, and that is our YHS Nation interview of the week. Once after the interview, we will go over the activity schedule for the week for Yankton High School as well. But we're going to start things off with that YHS Nation interview here on KYNT, KYN-TV.
This is Scotty Borman for another installment of YHS Nation here at KYNT. And today, we're talking Color Guard. And to start that off, we've got their coach, Alexis Evans. So first off, Alexis, how are you doing today?
Doing well.
All right, awesome. Why don't you give us a little background on what the Color Guard does for YHS and, you know, what the season looks like for you and
Sure.
just all the good background stuff.
Yeah, so during the fall season, we are a part of the marching band program. So we perform during the halftime show and the parades alongside the marching band. And then during the winter, we also have our Winter Guard program that performs at the halftime of basketball games.
Awesome. And so do you do anything much in the spring, or is it more just recruiting for next year, or what?
Spring is recruiting and prepping for the next fall show, writing the show, getting all the costuming and everything figured out, getting the kids ready to go, get them started on learning the show. We do our summer camp to learn the show before school starts, and then during the fall we have our rehearsals to clean that show up and get it ready to compete.
Okay, and I guess another thing, how many kids do you usually have on average at the color guard?
Depends on the year. My smallest year, I think we had 5.
5, yeah.
And the largest team I think that I've coached was 16 of them. No, 19 of them. Fire and Ice, there was 19 of you on the floor.
Nice. And how many years have you been coaching
I've been involved coaching since 2017. I started off as an independent contractor hired by the band Boosters to come in and write choreography, and then when the color guard supervisor position at YHS became available, I applied. I had finished my undergraduate degree at that point, so I just stepped right into that role and took over.
Can I assume that you had some sort of background in color guard in your earlier years?
I started spinning in 2009, which my students love to remind me is longer than most of them have been alive.
Then we won't talk about me.
Right.
I'm an 85 YHS grad, and just so you don't get thinking it's too old, that's way old. 1985, not that old.
Yeah. So I started out as part of a community-based program that used to be part of the summer activities here in Yankton, along with summer gymnastics and cheer and all of that kind of stuff. And then I spun here at Yankton High School. I went on to spin at USD for 4 years, and then I spun in a regional A-class winter guard out of Omaha called Clarity Winter Guard. And then I came back to coaching and came back to Yankton and am now coaching the very team that I was a part of. The Winter Guard program was actually founded when I was in high school, and I was one of the founding members here at Yankton. So bringing that back post-COVID was really exciting to bring back the program that I helped to start.
Awesome. You got some pretty good pedigree for this, huh?
I try.
Big love for the program, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, we're going to move to one of your guests that you brought along here. We'll go with Adriana Evans.
Yep.
So, how are you doing today?
Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah. So, tell me, what do you like most about of all the activities available at Yankton High School? What drew you to the color guard besides family members?
So I have a big background in dance, and I had a horrible knee injury, so that was like the next best thing. And I met her in middle school after COVID, so it was just, sorry.
It turned out to be a good fit?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. I actually, when I was in high school, I ran cross country and track for my dad. So, you know, having the same last name as a coach is not always bad, but I wasn't one of the best on the team anyway. Way too short.
Oh, yeah.
But, tell me a little bit about what you really enjoy about being on the color guard. Is it the twirling, or it's a performance art? So
yes, it's the the moment you step on the field when you go to perform. It's something about the spotlight being on you and that 7 minutes that you get to perform. It's magical. So
get a little adrenaline high from that at all?
Yes, adrenaline. Yes, of course.
Okay, awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome. And we also have Mariah Wustewald. How are you today, Mariah?
I'm just wonderful. How are you?
I am awesome. Thank you. Well, tell us a little bit about you as well. How did you get into color guard, and just what do you enjoy about it, or hate about it if you want?
I started spinning baton when I was very young. So then I stopped doing that after 2 years, and then I got into middle school, and I was friends with a lot of the people on the color guard. And then in 7th grade, I joined middle school guard. And then I've loved it ever since.
Okay, and is it the same thing? You just get to get out there and perform and have fun and
yes.
Hope you don't drop something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
Mariah has this quality whereas when she's in go mode and she's performing, she just lights up. I don't know how she just turns it on that way, but it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, it's like a switch in my head. When I walk on the field, I'm just totally on the field and I'm not thinking about anything else but whether I'm going to do good or not.
Now, you guys also performed, I think the last time you performed was at the last home basketball game, which was a doubleheader, both boys and girls, against T area. They both won, which is awesome, right? And I actually was sitting right next to Dr. Kindle as I was taking pictures. So I don't know if you saw the pictures I took on the KYNT Facebook page. So yeah, sometimes I get out with my camera. So that was a lot of fun. And because it's a very visual performance. I mean, it's not like band where you're trying to make all this noise or choir where you're singing and stuff like that. It's a very visual art, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think that allows people to do in color guard versus some of these other activities?
You really get to show like your emotions and like tell a story. It's
and you can do it without having to worry about missing a note or
yes, yeah.
if you're a little more shy, don't like to talk, this is a way to be able to perform without that pressure. You just got to worry about dropping something, which is better than in the cheer world where you might if you drop something, it might be a person, right?
That's true.
So this is a lot better. Do you guys want to hear who my all-time favorite, it's actually called a drill team. You want to hear what my all-time favorite is?
Sure.
The United States Marine Corps Drum and Bugle Corps.
We've
the silent
seen them.
drill team.
We've seen them.
I have two in person. I was a Marine, so I'm very proud of them. There's a lot of different requirements in all the military. That's one where it's very strict.
Sure.
For height, you could only be 6 foot tall, plus or minus an inch. They wanted it very uniform.
Sure.
Right? I wasn't anywhere close.
Right.
So for me, a lot of what they do with those M14s, we did similar things, not throwing them up in the air and all that fun stuff. But a lot of the other things we learned as basic drill movements in the Marine Corps. So when you guys are doing it with the fake rifles and the flags and stuff like that, I completely understand. I know exactly how that goes. So it's always fun to watch you. So I guess I'll come back to you, Alexis. Are you guys actively recruiting for next year? Maybe some 8th graders coming up, or how's that going?
Yep, absolutely. The marching band sign up just went out for the fall season, so that's out in the announcements. They are due in April, so students who are thinking about it, they've got a little bit of time yet to decide. And then we will be having our trial camp. I'm just waiting on confirmation of our gym reservation days, where students can come out and try it and see if it's a good fit for them before that registration is due. So that'll be information coming out here shortly once I get those reservations locked down.
So you even let the younger kids come out and dip the toes in the water, so to speak, right?
Yes, yep.
Awesome. And so how many are you hoping to have on the entire team this fall?
Well, I'm losing 4 seniors this year. Unfortunately, they have to go graduate or something, I guess. So I will have 3 seniors next year, 1 junior. If everybody returns from the freshman class, I will have 6 of them, right?
Yes.
So a good-sized team, and then we'll see what happens with the 8th graders coming up into freshman year. I also help with the middle school color guard as well, so that has really helped that transition. They're already familiar with me, my choreography style, and feel comfortable. So that transition from their 8th grade year up into freshman year has been a lot smoother since I've been helping with both.
Okay, so they're all familiar with how you're being a taskmaster you are, and she is like holds your feet to the fire, girls. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. We like to make a few things up as we go, right? And how is it best if somebody is hearing this over the weekend? How is the best way? I know there's flyers up, high school, middle school. How is the best way if they don't see that? How is the best way for them to get in touch and see if they want to get involved?
Yeah, they can send me an email, or they can talk to their band director at either the high school or the middle school level. Mrs. Belgum at the middle school or Mrs. Wenish at the high school has all of the information as well.
Okay, excellent. Is there anything else anyone would like to say about the color guard?
You said you were going to ask us our favorites. I prepped
okay,
them.
Sorry. I told you mine. I apologize. Thanks for catching me on that. So we'll start with you, Alexis. Who's your favorite color guard or drill team?
For Winter Guard, AMP is my favorite. Their Why So Serious show about the Joker and Harley Quinn was fantastic. That's one of my faves. And then we actually went and saw Drum Corps International a couple of years ago. We took the band on a trip and saw Santa Clara Vanguard spin their Vagabond show, and it was phenomenal. And they had previously taken a year off due to some financial difficulties, so to see them come back so strong with no props on the field at all, just themselves and their strong marching and their strong performing was really, really impressive and insane to see in person.
Awesome. How about you, Mariah? What do you got anything that jump out as
my favorites are probably Santa Clara Vanguard. That one was my absolute favorite. And then I really liked Troopers from DCI. And then also Phantom Regiment. Them three were probably my top 3 out of DCI.
Okay, how about you, Adriana?
A show I can't get out of my head is Winter Guard. Avon High School. They showed Voila.
Voila, yes.
I loved it. It was beautiful, and that's just my top favorite.
Nice. You went to an even smaller school and pretty local, so you can put out a good show from anywhere, it seems, huh? Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say about Color Guard and how more people should come out and join you guys?
Join us, support us, watch us. We have Riverboat Days Parade, Homecoming, the March to Meridian Marching Band competition, and then, of course, our home basketball game. So come check it out.
A football game comes before that. So
well, yeah. Homecoming.
Yes. All right. Well, cool. I got to thank Alexis and Mariah and Adriana. This has been great learning more about the Color Guard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're
thanks
welcome.
for having us.
This is Scotty Mormon for YHS Nation.
That was YHS Nation here on KYNT and KYN TV, and that was going to wrap us up here today, but saw a post on social media about something else. I did some research during that interview. There's one more thing to talk about. Talking about here on Huddling with the Herd, YHS graduate Miles Kraske. We talk about his para-badminton achievements quite often here. He, today, I believe early this morning, 5 a.m. local time, advanced to the finals of a tournament out in Vitoria, Spain, the Spanish Para-Badminton International for 2026. Looking at how he got there after going through league play, group play, he defeated Vinicius de Oliveira Costa 21-10, 21-9 in round 1. Then he defeated Lee Dae-sung in round 2, 21-12 and 21-13. Had a tough matchup with Jack Shepard out of England in the semifinal, and Shepard and Kraske both ranked in the top 10 right now in the world. Shepard ranked 7th in the latest rankings. Kraske a few weeks ago jumped up to number 1, but he has been surpassed by Natapong Mishai out of Thailand once again. So Kraske is number 2 right now in the world rankings for para-badminton. Shepard 7th. Kraske defeated him 21-15 in the first to get the first point. 21-17, Kraske dropped the second point, but did win 21-11 to secure a spot in the finals where he will take on a guy he knows really well, someone that he plays mixed doubles with quite often in Vitor Tavares of Brazil. So, and those were the top 2 seeds, Tavares and Kraske, in this tournament after the group play. So, see who, looking at the BWF website right now for badminton, no scheduled time. It just says to be scheduled, but Miles Kraske into the championship match at the Spanish International. So, good luck to him. I believe that's being held in Vitoria, Spain. So if anybody wants to hop on a plane real quick and go support him, you can. But I believe they stream it all on YouTube. If you check his Facebook page and his social media accounts, specifically his badminton one, Miles Kraske Badminton, I believe on Facebook, it post the links for what you need to watch if you want to go and support him. And congrats to him again. I know Paralympic silver medalist here recently. He has his eyes set on even more hardware coming up at the next Paralympic Games here in the near future. So good luck to him in the finals of the Spanish Para Badminton International out in Spain, and hopefully bring him home some more hardware. He just won another big tournament a few weeks ago, so keeping it rolling for Miles Kraske. That is now going to do it, though, for Huddling with the Herd here on KYNT and KYN-TV. The only thing left to do is look at the activities calendar for the coming week. On Monday, March 23rd, the FFA has a varsity event in Sioux Falls starting at 9:30. And the high school jazz band concert, I know that was the topic of YHS Nation last week, that was rescheduled after school was canceled last Monday. That is now at 7 p.m. Monday night at the Yankton High School main theater. On Tuesday, March 24th, high school jazz band goes to USD for the USD Jazz Festival. And the high school spring sports kickoff Tuesday evening at the YHS Commons. Here you can hear from all the Yankton High School coaches about their spring seasons. Nothing planned on Wednesday. Jumping ahead to Thursday, high school all-state band at Rapid City Central High School Thursday, March 26th. And then March 27th, all-state band again at Rapid City Central High School. And then track and field back in action, their second meet of the season at Mount Marty University, the Class A Invitational at the Ruth Donahoe First Dakota Fieldhouse on March 27th at 10 a.m. And then at noon Mountain Time, so 1 p.m. local time, on Friday, March 27th, Yankton, Bucks Tennis will start their, will have a quadrangular. They'll play 3 matches, or 3 duels. They'll take on Rapid City Central at noon, Rapid City Stevens at 3, and Spearfish at 6, all Mountain Time. That's out at Sioux Park in Rapid City. It's going to do it for Huddling with the Herd this week on KYNT and KYN-TV. Thank you for joining me as always. Until next week here on the show, stay safe, be good people, and have a great weekend, everybody. Go enjoy some